We gotta talk about that ending for Predator Badlands because they just gave us an insane reveal, hints and teases for the future of the Predator franchise is going. Like something we've never seen on the big screen for a Predator movie ever. The potential return of Arnold, another potential Alien vs. Predator movie, and what I think the Predator franchise's endgame might be. And all I gotta say is I used to pray for times like this. Trust me, you gotta hear this to believe it. But this is your spoiler warning. I am gonna be talking spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, make sure you drop a like and follow, but come back after. But either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta get through the chopper. So the film ends with Deck going on a mission to save both Thea and the Callus, which ended up being Bud's mom, with Thea and Bud being the ones that freed the Callus that ultimately ends up eating Tessa, the evil version of Thea. But it turns out she froze and blew up the Callus from the inside out, so I guess Mommy Callus can't regenerate all the way up. And as she's about to kill Thea, Deck stabs her, Bud rips her head off, and now not only does Deck have a trophy to take back to his father, even though it's not the Callus, he also has his own clan and family. And that's when we immediately pick up with Deck pulling back up to what I think is Yautja Prime, the home planet of the Yautja. And it looks like some time might have passed away because he's got some new armor. As he pulls up on his daddy and says, "Here's my trophy. I went to Genna, I survived, and I'm here. Accept me." His dad is like, "Man, you embarrassed us by bringing this fucking piece of tin metal. Guards, kill this man." And Deck puts the fucking mollywop on these guards. He got the two-piece with the fucking swords. I was like, oh! As we get a dope little fight scene between Deck and his father. I'm calling it right. Deck's dad is a bitch. He's a fraud. Only reason he was winning fights because he had a cloak. But Deck hit him with the 5-head play by using his ship to puff up smoke into the air and debris to hit his father who's cloaked up. After a cool little fight scene, Deck cuts his father's arm off and then has him trapped in that little triangle device the same way his dad had him trapped in the beginning of the movie. As his dad says, "Maybe I was wrong about you. Maybe you will be accepted into our clan if you stop now." And Deck just looks at him and says, "I have no clan." As we see Bud, who's grown the fuck up now, he's big as shit, bites fucking Deck's dad's head off. As Thea pulls up as well and says, "Now you're Deck of the Yautja." As Deck takes his father's cloak, he's now basically a full-on Yautja who can go hunt on himself. We then get the title card, Predator Badlands, but then it quickly cuts back to a bunch of other Imperial Yautja guards coming out of the home of Deck's father, and then a big-ass ship that looks like the one from Predator Killer of Killers. As a matter of fact, this entire horizon kind of looks like that ending shot, except the ship is in the middle of these two, like, giant mountains. As Thea looks up at that and then looks over at Deck, she says, "Are those friends of yours?" And for a second, I thought it was our crew from Killer of Killers, but then Deck says, "Nope, that's my mother. You are one ugly mother." So not only does this set up a direct sequel to Predator Badlands specifically, but it also sends up a potential endgame scenario that is most likely going to assemble a team, which I'll touch upon later. But I want to talk about the mother for a second, because we've never seen a female Predator on the big screen. We only got characters like Big Mama from the damn books, and she's really just a huge bitch. But there's a lot of lore behind female Yautja. We don't really see them besides the comic books. They make most of their appearances in the Predator Hunting Grounds game. And over the years, the lore around them has been like all over the place. Sometimes they're bigger than the males. Sometimes they just kind of look like female predators. And sometimes they're just asexual. But if I had to guess, it seems like they're going to be pulling from the fact that female Yautja are bigger and stronger than the men, just given the fact that Deck was so worried that his mother was here. So I'm really curious to see if they go the bigger, meaner approach for the mom as opposed to the dad, because if she's meaner than his fucking dad, yeah! But now let's get back to what I think the Predator franchise's ultimate endgame is going to end up being. Because in case you don't know, they're actively trying to get Arnold back in this franchise some way, somehow. Dutch, you son of a bitch! As we saw in the credits scene for Killer of Killers, both Danny Glover and Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, Mike and Dutch respectively, appeared. They're captured in cryosleep by the Yautja. And not only them, but Naru from Prey. It looks like they take and capture and hibernate humans that were able to kill the Yautja. And if I had to guess, I think they're treating the Warlord Predator as the Thanos or main villain of this entire franchise, because this motherfucker is built like Shao Kahn and he's a demon. But I'm also curious if they'll expand the lore of the familial dynamics and the hierarchy of Predator homeworld, because we really didn't even get a lot of it in Predator Badlands. When you think about it, we just got more of like familial dynamics between like fathers and sons, but we don't really even know how these bitches live outside of Killer of Killers and Predator Badlands for like a brief moment. I'm really trying to see how that all goes, and if he truly is like the King Yautja, or if he's just a part of a faction of feral predators. But I think they're trying to set something massive up with us having a protagonist as a Yautja on our side with Deck. On top of that, we got a synthetic in Thea, and mind you, we also got a grown-up version of Bud who's going to end up becoming a giant kaiju Callus. And I also have a feeling that they want to team up both Rain and Andy from Alien Romulus with this squad. I'm not entirely sure how that works out timeline wise, but it feels like they want this to happen. I mean, shit, if they really wanted to, they can bring back Adrian Brody's Royce. We know him and Isabella are out there on this Predator planet hunting preserve. Even with the tie-in comic, they're still out there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not just the Warlord Predator they got to go up against, because don't forget that Weyland-Yutani played a huge role in Predator Badlands because of the Callus, which has regenerative properties that they're going to want because it's going to help humanity stay alive. That's Weyland-Yutani's whole thing, is researching research, development, testing to try to elongate human life. And now Bud, at least to our knowledge, is the last Calyx standing. So they're gonna want him. That's obviously gonna end up leading to a eventual Alien versus Predator movie again. But if I had to guess, it'll be more than just Xenomorph versus Yautja. But regardless, man, there's so many avenues and directions that this franchise can go into that it has me so damn excited. Dan Trachtenberg resuscitated a dead body and gave us 3 of the 4 best Predator movies of all time. And I'm so damn excited to see where this franchise goes. But let me know what you thought about Predator Badlands, its ending, as well as my thoughts, theories, and opinions down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.